RAM Podcast, where we talk about everything real estate and mortgage, and we ask you, the viewers, what's going on with real estate and mortgage, and try to answer those questions.
Welcome, guys. We are here at RAM. I just feel awkward saying that, period. Real estate and mortgage. I'm here with Mark Haga.
Hey,
How are you?
great. How about yourself?
I'm awesome.
Snowing outside. Keep on snowing, man.
No, make
Yes.
it stop. I have a goal.
love the snow.
I have a goal for this Sunday if the weather holds up.
Keep skiing into July.
I want to ski on Sunday morning and golf on Sunday afternoon.
That'd actually be pretty cool.
That's my goal.
Welcome to Utah.
Pray for me. Okay, so what are we talking about today? This is going to be exciting.
Let's talk about why people, like, everyone's like, oh, with all the news on the real estate market and interest rates, things are still happening. And I think the main thing that we're seeing with people buying and selling, we're dealing with a lot of the same thing. People are either moving or selling or buying because of what?
4 reasons, and they're the four
Yeah,
Ds.
I guess there's 4 Ds. So death,
Death,
debt, divorce,
downsizing,
downsizing. And I feel like that in the last year has been where a lot of your buyers and sellers are coming from.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's crazy because there's still a low inventory of homes on the market. So you're still getting a lot of these people, they couldn't even compete a while ago.
Yeah,
But now these people are competing and there's still a low inventory. So it's still a good time to buy and it's still a good time to sell because you still have these 4 things of people that are always going to be doing something in real estate. It doesn't just stop.
right. I would say, just in refinances in general, I'm seeing kind of the same thing. Not in regards to death, because there are other options for that, but divorce, people are buying out their ex with their equity, and debt. They're consolidating debt. I have clients come into me who have interest rates that are in the low 2s, low 3s, coming to me and saying, I need to consolidate my debt. I don't care about the interest rate at this point. I need to get out from under all of this debt that I've accumulated through COVID. So I can see that in selling too.
Yeah.
Just wipe your slate clean, start over, and buy a new home.
Yeah, job changes. There's a lot of different things, and it's interesting because it's always what we deal with.
Yeah.
But it seems like the last 2 years it hasn't been like that. It's just been because it's pretty much cheap money everyone was buying. Where now it's a typical real estate market. Rates are pretty normal. I mean, they're higher than what we're used to.
Yeah.
But they're still pretty normal, and we're seeing the normal people buy and sell real estate.
So to me, I think that has a few benefits as a buyer in this market. What buying power does that give these people?
So a lot, because you're not competing with the masses. So a lot of these people, prices haven't really dropped like everyone thought they were going to drop. They have come down, but where they've really dropped is the fact that you're not, if it's a $500,000 house, you're not bidding $530 for it.
Correct.
So that's your drop right there. You're going in and bidding $500.
A normal
for it.
price. Hey, imagine that.
Or lower than $500,
Yeah.
or you're getting closing costs put into
Yeah,
it.
or a 2-1 buy down.
Yeah, you're getting all these things which we were doing the last 10 years was what we were doing. That was normal.
Yeah.
But people aren't used to it now, so a lot of people are like, oh, what's happening? To me, it's a normal market.
Yeah.
So,
More seller concessions being paid. That's awesome for people who are nervous about the market and aren't quite sure if it's a good time to buy.
yeah.
How many buyers or sellers have you had ask about 2-1 or 3-2-1 buy downs lately?
Quite a bit.
And or paying for them?
Yep. A lot of builders, a lot of everything. I mean, you're getting the rate down.
Yeah.
And sellers are willing to pay it. Builders are willing to pay it to help make something happen. And so, yeah, you're not up here with the higher interest rates. A lot of the loans that we're doing are still at a lower rate than what was being put out in the market
Yeah. That's
because
true.
it's being bought down.
That's true. So what you're telling me is sellers and builders aren't out to get buyers and push them into something they can't afford. They're being flexible and they're contributing because they know affordability is difficult right now, and they're trying to make it easier
Yeah.
during this market.
And it's interesting because of the divorce. Let's talk about the divorce side of it a little bit, even though divorce is a bad, kind of a bad thing, I guess, to talk about because you've got all the different.
It was only a bad word in the 80s.
Yeah, yeah. But a lot of people have equity in their home.
Tons of equity.
Even if it was only 2-3 years, they're still selling and having equity and paying off their debt and still going and buying a home. They're not just selling and sitting and doing nothing.
Yeah.
They're still taking that equity, using it to buy another house. So the market's still moving on that aspect of it.
Yeah. Most people don't want to give up the idea of home ownership. A lot of them just don't want to own that home any longer, or it's not feasible to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So same thing with like, you know, if someone passes away, I'm seeing a lot of homes where they're not wanting to keep them and use them as a rental or something, but they're still taking that money that they got when mom, dad, or grandpa or someone passed away. They're taking that money and putting it back into another home as an investment home, so they don't have to see someone else living in that home. But there's enough equity there. Still, I mean, inventory is still low, so sellers are still getting a good amount for their home, but they're still willing to cooperate with buyers, and so buyers are still getting a good deal. It's kind of right now. It's kind of I feel like it's a good mix. Where before it was sellers and here's your buyers,
Gotcha.
and now I feel like it's just a good mix to make a deal happen.
So if you are a buyer on the fence right now, what do you recommend they do?
Find out what you can afford.
Okay.
Stick with that budget, and yeah, it may not be your perfect location.
Okay.
And if you may have to go outside of that location to get your first
Maybe
home,
commute a little further.
maybe commute a little further, or maybe not live in your ideal neighborhood, things like that, or it may not be
No Wisteria Lane.
may not be a home, it may be a townhome or even a condo. It's something. It's still better than the rent trap.
Plant your roots.
Plant your roots, get it started, have it only be like a 3-year or 5-year or 7-year plan.
Okay.
Get into something.
And who would they talk to?
A lender. Have it sit down with a lender. That's why sit down and find out what you can afford.
Lender.
Sit down and fill out the application, do all that, but actually sit down and know the ins and outs of it. So you know financially what you can afford, because there's so many programs out there too.
Yeah.
There's so many things, and a lot of times just sitting down and going over them with you, you find out every little thing they
Yeah.
have to help out to make the deal happen
Yeah.
for you.
Ask questions. If you are, on the fence about buying and you don't understand the process and you don't know who to talk to, it's a great point. Speak with your lender. Ask questions. Ask lots of questions. Be annoying about it,
Yep.
for that matter. I mean, you're making the biggest purchase of your life.
If the lender's being annoyed by it, find a new lender.
Find a new lender.
Find
Yeah,
a new lender because,
100%.
like you just said, it's one of the biggest purchases of your life.
Yeah.
You need to dive into it like that is. Or a lot of people, I feel like they just don't do that, or they get told no, or they
Yeah.
get told this. But there's jump into it and
If-
know the ins and outs of it.
Well, think of it. If you had a medical problem and your doctor wasn't answering your questions, would you find a new doctor? Would you get a second opinion?
Heck yeah.
Yeah, if you felt like you annoyed him every time you asked about your concerns,
Next.
you'd get a new doctor. Find a new lender. Find someone who's going to put the time and effort into you.
Yep.
Yeah.
But get into it. That's the biggest thing. Get into it, and it's okay to not have it be perfect your first time.
Yeah. And it's okay to not know what you're doing.
Yep.
Awesome.
Thank you for watching and subscribing to our RAM podcast, where we talk about real estate and mortgage. If you want to watch more, please check out the videos below or check out our other social media websites. If you have any questions, please, we'd love to hear more. Drop us a comment.